Hi everyone, LazyFire here. Welcome back to Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. Today we're going to get Al-Assad. That's our plan. And you can see we're bringing everything we have to bear here. We got planes dropping bombs, we got our helicopters dropping people in grenades from a machine gun, and we've got tanks rolling in. It's a full-on, shock and awe campaign, as the mission would suggest. So that's what we're going to be doing for a lot of this mission, is firing grenades from this thing. You'll see on the right there is a cooldown meter. This is, I think, the only time this grenade launcher appears in the entire game. So it's a unique asset for this mission. And we really want to get those LAVs out, because they will destroy us while we fly over them. I think I got most of them. The thing about using this is that it's not the most accurate weapon in the world. You gotta lead your targets a little bit in the direction that they're, not only because it's got travel time, but because, well, even if you account for the travel time, you have to account for the movement of the helicopter and everything else. You gotta be a little smart about it and just be aware that you can't just expect to hit something, because everything else in the game, except for RPGs and normal grenade launchers, are hit scan. This stuff is not. There's a tank there, and there's two more here. Those guys will kill you sometimes. Ugh, that hurt. I believe we're gonna start about halfway through. Yeah, there we go, perfect. Get these guys. This is actually where I almost always end up overheating the gun. So you can actually take a shot from one of the RPGs. It's not the end of the world if you miss one guy, but yeah, you just don't want to miss two guys. Kind of the story, I guess. If you're thinking this is kind of boring, what's going to happen in a few minutes is we're actually going to switch, and we're going to be infantry. And that's one of those things I think is actually kind of interesting about this game, and even Black Ops 3 does it a little bit now. But it will switch you between different things a couple times over. It'll cycle you through stuff instead of having you go from one thing to the next and staying in the second thing for the rest of the mission. It's very common in the Call of Duty franchise where they'll just do that. You'll get something midway through the level, and that's your new thing. That's your new gimmick for the rest of the level. In this, they bring you between two things quite frequently. Not often, I would say, but most of the time, you're not going to be told, okay, now do this thing, and it's what you do the rest of the level. It's usually something that you can do. I'm explaining it poorly. You'll see it in a second. So we're going to get out of this helicopter after we make one more pass over a little area, the suburbs, I guess.
They're popping green smoke to indicate their position.
So we have to go and actually help with, groundwork. This is what we've been doing most of the game. It's what this game series is really built on, is, infantry combat. So that's what we're going to go do. It's infantry combat.
Watch for friendlies near the colored smoke. Let's get our boys evac and get the hell out of here.
So, yeah, the mortar fire is what makes the LZ too hot. If you're wondering why the fuck did you land here if it's too hot, it's them firing mortars.
Watch for friendlies near the green smoke. Let's get our boys out of there.
What Vasquez is actually trying to say here is do not shoot things on the second floor. Those are friendlies. This wall here is actually one of the first things we've seen in the LP that I can't really shoot through. Cinder blocks and concrete generally are, I wouldn't say invulnerable, because you can shoot through them with some certain weaponry, which I'm trying to find right now. There it is. Fucking RPD, man. Ooh, and it's got, it looks like he reloaded it before I picked it up, but don't have as much ammo in it as I'd like. RPD is probably my favorite LMG in this game. There's a few reasons for that, mostly because I used it a lot in the multiplayer, because it was actually really fun to use. You can't really tell from here, but it's a fucking chainsaw. It just tears through people. And in the multiplayer, it was like a 2-3 shot kill, but fuck you. Oof. Let's try this again. think you have to take this area a little slow. There we go. Fuck. Good. It was technically behind the wall. You can see it has really shitty hip fire, but it's got a nice. It has good speed in terms of shots per minute. So it's got our high RPM, I guess is what I should say. I'm a little confused today, I guess. And in addition to that, it just does damage. It does work. You can tear through people. It shoots through walls pretty easily. So yeah, I recommend it. Give it a shot when you play the game. If you still play multiplayer for some reason, pick it up and try it out a little bit.
Refueled and fully loaded. You guys with me?
Alright. Intel. I don't know how I missed that.
Move out! Let's go!
You can see here though, it's holding its own against these guys. We don't want to use it in this next segment though, because I don't want to be stuck with that reload animation for much longer than I need to be. What we're going to do is we're actually going to get through this house. This house can be a problem because it infinitely respawns, guys. How did you forget I was here? And it's got people who spawn in on the roof. So you really do want to be inside this house. This closet, R. Kelly's closet, is where actually everyone respawns. That's a joke that makes a lot more sense when this game came out. Because this is actually a segment of a multiplayer map with that construction building and this. And the alleyway we came through to get here is actually part of the same map. So they kind of reconfigured a multiplayer map to do a single-player map, which I think is actually kind of neat. It's a little different than adding things or taking things out of an existing multiplayer map or cutting a segment out of it. How did you not see that guy? Alright, secondary LZ. We got so much RPD ammo. This is really what we came here for. With this thing, we can basically trivialize most enemies for the rest of the mission.
Go!
Having this much ammo in it is great.
Outlaw, be advised. We have a situation here. Over.
Go ahead, Command, over.
SEAL Team 6 has located a possible nuclear device at Al-Assad's palace to the west. Nest teams are on the way. Until the device is verified safe, all forces are to fall back to the east. Over.
Oops.
We're hit! I'm off the tail loader!
Well, that's not good.
Going in hard! We're going down! We have a Cobra down. I repeat, we have a Cobra down. Deadly, this is Outlaw 2-5. Come in, over. Command, I'm visual on the crash site. I see small arms fire coming from the cockpit. Request permission to initiate search and rescue, over.
Copy 2-5, be advised. You will not be at a safe distance in the event that nuke goes off. Do you understand?
Roger that. We know what we're heading into.
Alright, so we've got our objective.
It's your call. Retrieve that pilot if you can. Out.
Deadly, do you copy? What's your status? Over. I'm here! Keating is KIA! Hostiles moving you fast! I sure could use some help down here! Hold on, we're coming to you.
So, we've got to get to the pilot and get her back to the helicopter within the time limit there, or we're not going to be able to get out of the city.
West of your position.
How is that friendly? I must have hit the pilot.
Be advised, 2-5. Hostiles advancing parallel southwest of your position towards the...
Yeah, I hit the pilot. You can see her there.
Jackson, get the pilot. No one gets left behind.
You can do this pretty quickly.
Get back to the LZ. Do it.
You won't get shot, I don't think, by the guys who are coming down that way. And once you get her, I think you're not invincible, but as you can see, I'm definitely not invincible. But the enemies will kind of leave you alone for the most part. You can't do anything while you're in this situation, so getting through here is kind of a crapshoot if they were hitting you more frequently. Let's get her in here.
Outlaw, this is Command. We have a probable nuclear threat in the capital. Proceed to the minimum safe distance until the all-clear is given by the Nest team.
There we go. Okay, good. I'm pretty sure those grenades can actually land inside the helicopter, so I was a little concerned.
Nuclear threat in the city. Nest teams are on site and attempting to disarm.
We're getting out of here, though. That's no good.
Everyone, hang on!
I don't know what you think you're going to hang on to when you're flying through the air. See ya. And a nuclear device just went off like, a couple miles from you. It's not a good time for anybody. Now the rest of the game is actually a Fallout remake. So yeah, that is the major plot twist of this game, the nuke going off in the city. I mean, when I first played this, when they were saying, oh, the nuke's gonna go off, I figured we were gonna get out of there before that happened. And then it goes down, the helicopter goes down, and you're just going, what? And, yeah, nuke goes off, and you'll see in a moment, we're not gonna just, recharge our health and get back into the fight. So it's one of those things that this is why people like this game. It was not afraid to do something like this. Because, let's face it, this was released 4 years after the US invaded Iraq. And part of the thing was the threat over nuclear devices and chemical and biological agents that the country might have had, which turned out they didn't have, and everyone knew that, but getting a little far off track here. And then all of a sudden, this game where you're invading a Middle Eastern country to take out a dictator, he has a nuke. He actually does have the fucking nuke. But then this scene happens.
90 seconds.
You're in this helicopter, everyone's dead. And all you can do is crawl along and hobble.
Detonation detected. Fallout predicted within a radius of 7.4 miles. Epicenter located at N058.
It's just kind of weird and creepy and nuts.
Contamination sensors are being established at this time and will be operational within 2 hours. Personnel are there. Personnel with highly elevated levels are advised to seek medical attention at the first available opportunity.
And so they kill off your player character from the Marine side. How nuts is that? I mean, think about it in context. No other game's going to really do that. So, now we're stuck with Soap. And, hey, SAS missions are pretty fun anyways, so we're going to get more of that. The SAS missions are going to get louder and more direct, let's say, less stealthy.
He's a coward, Captain Price. Al-Assad would never sacrifice himself. There is a safe house in Azerbaijan that Al-Assad has used in the past. I am sending you the coordinates.
Understood, Nikolai. Guys, assemble a team. We're going to Azerbaijan.
Next time we're going to get revenge, damn it.
Lovely this time of the year.
I'll see you then.